Have you ever wondered if there was a way to work out your brain? What if I told you that as little as 10 minutes a day of meditation could eliminate your anxiety, skyrocket your focus, your concentration and memory, optimize your sleep quality, and literally change the physical makeup of your brain? In my own efforts to test out these claims, I've spent the last 45 days meditating every single day. And in this video, I'm going to go over the benefits that have been scientifically proven, and then I'm going to share my completely unexpected results to speak to which benefits I felt during my self-experimentation. Hang in with me because I had a breakthrough later on in my meditation experiment that was completely surprising, and you're not going to want to miss it. So what are the benefits of meditation? Let's go over it. Some of the most commonly touted benefits of meditation are a reduction in anxiety and stress, increase in focus and concentration, lengthening your attention span, increased memory and reducing age-related brain degeneration, improvement in emotional regulation, enhanced willpower, improved sleep quality, decreased blood pressure, enhanced self-awareness. It might help with addiction, helps to control pain, and meditation is also shown to actually physically change the structures in your brain, such as increasing the cortical thickness in your hippocampus, which is the part of the brain that is responsible for learning and memory, as well as an increase in the gray matter in the prefrontal cortex, which is critical for decision making. There's also been evidence to show a decrease in the volume of the amygdala, and the amygdala is the part of the brain that is responsible for fear and stress and anxiety. So reducing the size of the amygdala can help control those fight or flight feelings. Suffice to say, if meditation was a pill, every doctor would prescribe it. But it's better than that. It's absolutely free, and you don't have that long list of pesky side effects. Side effects may include acne, diarrhea, sore nipples, anal bleeding, bleeding from the eyes, bleeding from the ears, brain hemorrhaging, stroke, heart attack, suicide, and death. So why did I decide to do 45 days of meditation? I decided to do this challenge because I had tried meditation on and off over the years, but I struggled to be consistent with it. I've also been going through some stressful times in my personal life, so I thought, what the hell, I'm not gonna have a better time to test this out and see if I can notice any of these benefits from consistent meditation. Now you might be wondering, what were the parameters for my meditation practice? I primarily relied on guided meditation apps. I just find it much easier to meditate when I can just put on a guided meditation with a set time and listen to different styles. I'll post a link in the description below with the meditation app that I use, which is called Waking Up. There's also lots of really great guided meditations for free here on YouTube. So generally most days I was doing meditations for about 15 minutes per day, but I did do a couple longer sessions up to about 45 minutes and sometimes multiple sessions per day. But on average, I would say most days I was sitting around that 15 to 20 minute mark. There are many types of meditation that you can do, but mindfulness meditation seems to be mostly the style that I was practicing, the one I'm most interested in, although I did experiment with a few different styles over the 45 days. Now let's get into my results. But quickly, before we dive in, every time you like a video and sub to my channel, a puppy gets rescued. It costs you nothing, and I'm sending you karma. And everyone could use a little karma right now, right? Okay, for the first 7 days or so, if I'm honest, I didn't really feel all that much different. I definitely felt more relaxed and clear-headed right after my meditations, but overall it seemed like a bit of a slog. When I would meditate, my mind was firing out all these random thoughts, and I noticed it was really hard to quiet the mental chatter, the internal never-ending monologue in my mind saying, hey, remember that stupid thing you said years ago? Now, around the 2-week mark, I started to feel subtly calmer throughout the day, and my threshold for what would normally piss me off seemed to increase. It's as if I started to feel more patient. And I remember sitting in traffic behind someone driving super slow, which would normally have me swearing like a sailor, but instead, I felt oddly patient and relaxed. At about 21 days in, things started to get interesting. I definitely noticed an increase in my ability to focus and concentrate on whatever task was at hand. I also started to feel like my self-awareness was heightened. I started to notice that previously I'd never allowed myself to get bored. I always had a podcast on or music, or I'd be doom scrolling on Instagram and Facebook, playing a YouTube video in the background or whatever. This self-awareness helped me analyze my behavior from a different perspective and is something I'm tweaking a bit better to align with the goals that I've set for myself. Okay, and so around 35 days in, just over a month of consistent meditation, I had what I would describe as a breakthrough moment in my meditation practice. And honestly, it's something that is really hard for me to even put into words, as I feel like it was somewhat of a spiritual experience. So during one of my meditation sessions, I decided to try a different style of practice called loving kindness meditation. I know it's a weird, cheesy sounding name, I know. In this type of meditation, you're instructed to think of a loved one. So this could be a good friend, it could be a family member, a partner, and you meditate on wishing this person love and happiness, and really try to feel the intention of manifesting thoughts of well-being and freedom from suffering towards this person. So as I meditated on this, bouncing from my wife to my parents and so on, I decided to start sending these positive thoughts to my grandpa that passed away. And as I made my way through the guided meditation, I started to visualize my grandpa in my mind's eye, and I could see him so clearly and so vividly, and he looked so happy, so content, and free from suffering. And all of a sudden, I felt like I was hit by a tsunami of emotion. I then saw my grandpa opening the door to this beautiful house, and as he opened that door, I could see my other grandpa that had passed away was inside this house as well, and he was looking as happy and healthy and content as I'd ever seen him in his life. I then watched both my grandpas smile at me and gently wave at me to come inside the house, and it was at this point where I was like, okay, what the fuck, am I dying or something? Am I moving into the light? But as I watched this unfold in the image that I was holding in my mind, I felt some sort of deep spiritual knowing that although my relatives had passed and they were no longer here in this physical form, they or their essence were somehow alive and okay. And whether that was just in the contents of my mind or some other plane of existence, it didn't really seem to matter. The feeling that I had was so surreal and so vivid that I could feel my eyes start to well up. And this is coming from someone who's not religious whatsoever and would identify as an agnostic atheist. So overall, this was an intense experience, and I really don't know what to make of it, except for the fact that it was just an unexpected result from this experiment, and overall, pretty positive. So after 45 days of meditating every day, I now find myself automatically meditating in public when I'm, say, standing in line or walking into a building. I also feel I've started to recognize my thoughts as they arise. And this gives me the ability to kind of disassociate from them if they're negative. And as one of the biggest benefits that I've found from meditating is just understanding that you are not your thoughts, and you don't have to be a prisoner to your mind. Will I continue to meditate? Yeah, I think I will. And even since the 45-day period has been finished, I've still managed to continue my meditation streak. And from what I've experienced, meditation is essentially exercise for your brain. So, I highly recommend everybody tries it out and at least does a little self-experiment on themselves, because you might be pleasantly surprised. Anyways, that's it. Subscribe to the channel for more tips on self-actualization and self-experiments. Bye-bye. So as I meditated, I don't like it.